Analyst puts Bionano at a buy rating with a $10 price target, and if you actually look at the analyst's track record, it's actually better than you think. We're going to go over that along with the institution that just filed a 65,000 share short position on Bionano. We also have the SEC filings. This was actually yesterday. We have a job posting that was yesterday as well, and we have a tweet that was today, and of course the meat and potatoes, right? I guess one of the two. We have the short interest data from Ortex. Thank you to Bad from the Discord for this. 4 million borrowed shares today, up 6% of the day. This is, I think this is absolutely crazy. Okay, it just blows my mind. But of course, the shorts are the shorts, and they're going to get burned one of these days because of that, because of their characteristics. And we're going to go over what this means, how big it is, if it's big, what are the chances of short squeezing, gamma squeeze potential. We got call options expiring this week, Friday, and we're going to go into the gamma squeeze potential and if it's actually likely. Like, Brandon, why are you still going on about this squeeze thing, man? Why are you still doing this, right? We're going to go over the chances if I'm seriously calling a squeeze to happen next week, or if it's just a low chance, if there's a bull case and bear case, right? We're going to go over all that and the open interest on the calls, why it's so telling what's going on with the actual open interest for the calls on the left as opposed to the puts on the right. And we also have the options. We also have a ton of options expiring, right? On the actual stock itself, we have options expiring this Friday. And this week, right? It's Wednesday right now. We have stuff going on tomorrow and Friday, and we have orange and red, right? What does that actually mean, right? Well, if we go down here, standard expiration date, okay, yada, yada, blah, blah. Ape language, there's a ton of options expiring this week. It's going to get crazy volume, and we're going to go over the chances of this, the technical analysis as well, and giving you my thoughts on the rest of the week, what I'm doing, my shares, my whole portfolio, disclosure, use the timestamps if you want. With that being said, let's go ahead and detail and analyze the first thing here. This analyst, this Wall Street analyst, has an average return of 21% in the green, actually. How rare is that for an analyst, right? 107 out of 154 ratings were successful, 69% success rate, and it's a 28% upside to $10. So obviously, this is what you like to see. Obviously, take it with a grain of salt. The analysts, I always say, they are overrated. They don't mean much, but any sort of publicity or positive exposure for the stock, you can't complain, okay? So this is interesting, and that's something to know for sure. If we look at the actual jargon of the article itself, okay, this is the first one that came out. It's copy and pasted into Google Doc because Seeking Alpha charges money to see their damn articles because they're just that important, right? Okay, but anyways, if we look at this, right, the company may be on the cusp of bringing disruption to the cytogenetics testing market, argues that this analyst that just did the $10 price target, 35% premium is what it's trading at right now, right? 35% upside. The analyst says the company looks set to significantly accelerate its top-line growth in the coming years as it chases the total addressable market for genomic research estimated at $2 to $3 billion. That is totally false. The TAM for genomic research is extremely much higher than $2 to $3 billion. Okay, Bionano themselves can get $2 to $3 billion on a yearly basis as the serviceable obtainable market for the Sapphire and the recurring revenues with that, according to the own company itself, if 10,000 Sapphires were to be sold. So this is absolutely false information. If you actually understand the definition of the total addressable market and the serviceable obtainable market and the differences there. Anyways, that's the subtle difference. I just want you guys to be careful. These analysts, they don't know what they don't know what they're doing. Okay, I'm telling you right now, a lot of them, they're just like us. I'm telling you, they're just like us. They don't know anything better than anyone else, except they don't fact check themselves, right? When I say something that's wrong, that's like done, it's like, Brandon, that was dumb, that's wrong. You guys correct me, right? There's 1,000 comments and you just see the dislikes, right? If I say something shitty, there you go. Analysts, for whatever reason, okay, they're credentialed, the college degrees, right? They think college degrees make you smart, okay? They don't get fact checked. They don't necessarily, they're not inherently smarter than we are. Anyways, that's a little bit of an off-topic rant for you, but that is good to see nonetheless, right? Good bullish articles. You can't complain. And then we also had another one down here. This was the other one that was breaking down BTIG's new bullish call. It was absolutely stupid, and that's another article that I'm not even gonna go over because it's literally all it says here is that it just says the same thing with a different company estimated total addressable market, which is funny. That's also false. But anyways, yeah, it just restates the same thing in a different way. That's not very big. But the big thing here, I will say, is that another thing. Please use timestamps, by the way. More important stuff is probably short interest, I would say. Anyways, 65,000 share short position disclosed by the NP filing today, right? These guys are, look at the effective date here, right? If you look at the Fintel Premium data here, you're welcome. Effective date is going to be 30th of April. And you can see they are short shares and their allocation and everything, change allocation, yada, yada. Okay, none of that is super important. But what is important is that this was not something that they just did today. This was the effective date was way long ago, but it just shows you it was on the effective date was on the April 30th, right? If we go to the daily chart, what was the price at on April 30th? $6.38 at best. At best, $6. Actually, okay, technically at best, $6.72, right? They're already in the red right now, right? We closed the day at $7.78. They're already in the red like 10, 15, 20%, okay? They're already getting killed, and this is the point that we're going to make later about why the squeeze, how it may get instigated, all right? Next up, I want to look at the actual short interest. If we look at the short share availability according to Fintel, it's not that low or high. It's higher than it was earlier, which is not what the Ortex data would lead you to believe, but there's a lot of factors in the short share availability. Also, if you look at the short volume ratio, it just tells, I mean, the short volume ratio is very misleading, okay? That's why you actually want to look at the short interest, right? The short volume means nothing, essentially. So if we actually do look at that short interest, according to Batform with the Ortex data on the Discord, right? This is Wednesday. And we have a 6.08% short interest change increase on the day, right? The free float sold shares, the sold share amount not yet covered is going to be 15.51% of the free float has been sold short, not yet covered. 42 million estimated short interest in total. You've got a cost to borrow average of 6% on the day. Borrowed shares on the day is 3 million, only less than 400K return on the day. Okay, I would say the number one thing you can say here is that the shorts. Okay, for this is great data for today. I'm very surprised. I'm not that surprised, but the shorts, of course, they don't care if they're going down. They don't care if they're in the red. They just keep doubling down because they think they're going to push this down to $5. I don't think they understand that if they don't, they're going to lose a ton. I don't think they understand the true risk here, because if they did, they wouldn't be betting their asses on this unless they knew something, unless they were about to blow up the company's headquarters or shoot the CEO in the head, right? CEO gets shot in the head. Anyways, they don't know when to stop. They think this stock is going to go to $0. They don't know about the FDA approval hints in the CBO and CCO news. They don't know about the business expansion. They don't know about nanonozzle, the Sapphire sales. They don't understand why the Sapphire is better than CMA fish and karyotyping, the competition. They don't know this stuff, and this is why they're so they're trying so badly to get it to zero. And I think they're going to fail very badly unless something crazy happens, like negative news catalyst or something crazy, right? And my point is, yes, there is a gamma squeeze and short squeeze potential here. Okay, consider this. Let's say the markets go up, high growth goes up until Friday, right? Let's give us the benefit of the doubt. Let's say we're at $8 or higher by Friday. Okay, once those options expire on Friday, what do you think is going to happen? All right, all of the options right now people are going to get profits, right? These bulls, I mean, a lot of them are. I'm assuming at least a lot of them are bulls, right? They're holding very speculative, almost right, risky, right? Calls out the money, right? $10, $9, right, dude. These guys are hodling because they think it's going to go higher. And if it does go higher, let's assume it does, right? Bull case, they're going to take the profits that they made from this and throw it back in more options or more shares. What does this do? That is the start of the gamma squeeze. As we start domino effecting through all these people getting the profits and throwing them back in, the shorts have to reduce their risk. And you have the short dated call options, you have the stop price going up, and you have the short interest increasing, the three essential ingredients, to my understanding, of a gamma squeeze. If we continue to go higher, and if we continue to hodl where we are even, you do have a possibility for that. Now, what are the chances of that? I don't know. I'm not going to lie. I can't lie. I'm not going to claim to know that I know exactly what the chances are or exactly what's going to happen. I would be lying to you if I did. But I will say this. If the markets go up, if high growth does us any favors, I think there's a very realistic chance that we do get some sort of squeeze, whether that be gamma or short squeezing. Okay, so I'll leave it at that. Next up, we look at the SEC filings here. Okay, this is just the Form 3, right? If you look at the insider codes here, literally it's just the signaling of someone becoming an insider, right? That's going to be that's what the Form 3 means. But if you look at the transaction code A, right? Code A on the Form 4, that's the other one we have here, right? This is literally no shares. K is just boring as hell. But if we look right here, this is the CBO. This is Richard Shippey, by the way. This is yesterday. I'm just reiterating this. It's relatively new, right? 400,000 shares in total exercisability. 737, that would be the expiration, and it is going to be expiration to 2031. Exercise price is 737, excuse me, and the expiration date is going to be 2031. It's leaps. It's more incentive. It tethers them to the company for years, or at least it motivates them to continue with the company, right? They're going to have the chance to make a lot of money. The price is zero. It's going to incentivize them to do well. So I like to see that. Also, if we look at this right here, this has been mentioned before, so it's nothing new, but the doctor actually speaking here is new. And I think I will be updating y'all on this tomorrow if I can actually get the meeting to work. Right now, it's not. I'm gonna play with this, see if I can actually watch the meeting. Right now, I haven't been able to, but I have not watched this yet, so I'm not really going to comment too much on it. But we have seen optical replication mapping actually before, but not very much. And this could be a new method. This could be a new style of doing it. Could be new findings, right? Could be anything in here. If it was, I'm sure someone would know about it and told me already, so I don't think there's actually anything new, except this guy is talking about it now. So I wouldn't say that's huge, but that is the new tweet, and it's at least it's in the realm of new, right? Usually we see stuff that's just advertising the company, identify actionable and novel. Okay, it's just old stuff. Now today we're actually getting something that's new-ish. Okay, so next up, let's look at this global sales trainer. This was posted 22 hours ago, right? If we scroll down here, okay, areas of responsibility, right? You have responsible for training, maintenance, okay, yada yada. Basically, we can go over all the responsibilities of this new job, right? But here's the fact for you, okay? Look at how many hirings and how many positions they're doing, right? These are almost all of these are pretty new, right? I did not mean to click on that, but most of these, if you click on them, they're almost all new, right? Operations support specialist 1 week ago, regional business manager 3 weeks ago. What does this mean? What does this mean, right? It means business expansion. More work, more demand. They need more supply. They need more people working and getting stuff done. Nano nozzle, Sapphire 2.0, lineage and expansion maybe. Also 5 large clinical studies. Those need to get done. Marketing, Sapphire sales, global Sapphire adoption, which is their goal. These things, if they're going to happen, they need a team, and they're putting together a great team right now. We've got the CBO hiring, got the CCO, and now we've got 1,000 listed jobs here. So right here, right, I mentioned on the 17th and 19th, or 17th and 18th, tomorrow and Friday, right, Thursday, Friday, we're going to get a ton of options expirations, right? So if we look right here, right, so we got the orange tomorrow and red on Friday. So orange, we got last day to trade, expiring, standard, AM, settled, equity index options. And then if we look at the red here, standard expiration date for equity, yada, yada. Okay, you can read it. You can pause and read all this thing if you want, right? Short, it's a long story short, right? A lot of stuff, a lot of trading is going to be going on these days, right? 17th and 18th. A lot of trading, a lot of stuff expiring, a lot of profits, a lot of profits being thrown in new places, right? Whether that be through expiring option, they're like, oh wow, okay, there we go. I got my money now. All right, what are we going to put it in next, right? That's kind of what you're going to be seeing, at least some of that, right? So that's going to be good to see, and some of them are going to be exercising those options, of course, as well. So that's pretty much all. That's that. To my understanding, I could be sometimes I forget stuff, but that is all of the news that we got today. All right, if we look at the 4-hourly 21 SMA, right, Bollinger Bands at the middle Bollinger Band especially, 768. That is where we need to hodl above, right? That is where the 21 SMA is on the 4-hourly. Typically, not the 4-hourly isn't the best indication for it, but typically, as long as you're above that, right, you're in bullish territory, right? You can see a perfect example of us the price action bouncing off of it right here. Let me maximize the chart so you can actually see what I'm looking at here. Okay, so right here, right, you can see right here. Let me just zoom in for you, right? You can see right there, you bounce off that 21 SMA, right? And then it's boom. It's absolute. It's done. Okay, now you have seen a breakdown of this recently, and you did break out. You falsely broke out. Now we falsely broke down. Now we're going back up. Price action has not liked this the last few days, but the fact of the matter is, one of these days, I wouldn't be surprised if this starts becoming again, as it always does, right? At least usually it does, right? Eventually, that level has always, that level is an important level, right? 4-hourly 21 SMA. So that's number one thing I would say that we closed above that. So that's bullish short term. Obviously, after hours, we're kind of testing and teasing going below it. Another thing is going to be the Supertrend and SAR on the day, or the 4-hourly, They're both bearish, all right? That's as simple as it gets. They're bearish. I'm not saying I'm bearish on the price action tomorrow or next week. I'm actually pretty damn bullish with some contingencies, but that indicator is bearish, okay? If we look at the moving averages, the 21 EMA and the 21 SMA, they're both below the price action, right? You can see we are now getting supported. There's so many moving averages coming into perfect level congruency, right? You got the 21 EMA, you got the 15-day MA, and the 21 SMA, all right there. MA and SMA are the same thing, by the way. And you got the 55 and 50 coming in as well. And it's what you want to see. It's what you want to see, man. So I would love if we could make 768, 770s, and then as we move up, as time goes on, right? Time sensitive, the moving averages are going to go up a little bit if the price action holds. So above, if we can turn 770s as a new support, that'd be great. And that is a short-term entry point, right? If the price action, by the time you watch this video, price action could be down 2% after hours, 5% after hours, right? We could be below it already. But as of now, based on that those indicators, we're not looking too bad, right? Also, I want to look at the RSI. You're looking very good on the 4-hourly, right? You're looking literally neutral. So it's not like we're overbought or anything on the RSI. On the stochastic indicator on the 4-hourly, same thing, right? We're actually pretty oversold on the RSI, or not the RSI, the stochastic indicator on the 4-hourly. On the daily, however, we're about to get the bullish cross. We're very close to getting the bullish cross there. On the weekly stochastic indicator, we're looking amazing. Let me look at the RSI here. Okay, RSI is pretty important here. We're what 57K. We got plenty of room to run. That's what I'm trying to say. With these, if you didn't understand any of that, right? Why are you telling me this, Brandon? Basically, we're not overbought yet, right? That doesn't mean we're gonna go to the moon. It just means we're not gonna fail because of being overbought, most likely. All right. Also, the relative strength index on the daily 60. So obviously, you got room to run. If you look at the daily moving averages, right? You're above all of them. You're above all of them except the 100 SMA, which really, I mean, it has acted as a resistance, but whatever. Okay, we've got almost all of them. I mean, we're in very bullish territory. If you look at the super trend and the STAR on the daily, all right, come on. I mean, we're in bullish territory. That's as simple as it gets. As far as chart patterns, you could say this is a bit of a descending wedge here, which is a bullish chart pattern if the previous move is higher, right? You have a little bit of a descending resistance and a descending support, something like this, right? That's technically bullish, right? Once you get that breakout, right now we're getting rejected at it, but if we can just go sideways, we will break out, and the price target will be right about something like this, right? So, above $9. So that's something to keep in mind. That's definitely something to keep in mind. Or we could see a descending triangle, right? We could see a retest of about 720. We definitely did have a descending triangle until we broke down here, which was very weird yesterday. Anyways, those are some chart. There's not really one clear chart pattern that I'm watching here. I will say the ascending level of support right here and the 21 SMA on the daily. Just pull these indicators up if you don't know what they are. If you don't think you're going to remember, right? It's time sensitive, so there's no way you could. But the 21 SMA and the ascending level of support I have drawn up right here, those are going to be very strong levels of support, right? So short term, 726 or 680s, 690s. If we were to if the markets were to crash, those are some levels of support. Anyways, with that being said, we've gone over 1,000 indicators. Okay, we can continue to go over 1,000. With that being said, I'll just say I like our chances. I really like our chances of going much higher the next 2 days if the markets do us any favors. I think there's a high chance of us outperforming high growth if we do. Obviously, Kate, anything could happen. Kate, even if we get great news, plenty of times people neglect it. But if you want to know more about the technicals and everything, how it's looking, just ask me on the live streams. Tomorrow we stream every day. With that being said, this is not financial advice. Oh, yeah, and the portfolio. Almost forgot the portfolio showcase, right? So here's the current position. I get asked all the time, Brandon, how much money do you have in Bionano? How many shares, right? You can see I'm a man of my word when I say I'm bullish and I like the company long term, right? I can tell you, I'm not. It's not like I don't have my own money in this, right? I have 1,600 shares, So for me, that's a lot, and that is only going to increase as time goes on in the aggregate, right? So with that being said, thank you all so much. This is not financial advice. I will see y'all in the next one.